Hey everyone, it's Sasha here from Every Day She's Sparkling. Just wanted to pop on and share how quick and easy it is to make a pin in Canva. So you'll just need to go to www.canva.com and you're going to see right away here, you'll have to log, if you haven't made an account already, you'll have to log yourself in. You can connect it with Google or Facebook or create a login. And then you're going to get to this sort of dashboard page. So on the bottom here is all the pins or graphics that I have made. And then you're going to see up here, this is all my designs. But if you click on create a design, all of these templates here are ready to be used. So there's a ton. There's some recommended for me. So these are ones that I'd probably be using quite often. Then there's some that are just for social media posts, Instagram. These are just some square posts, Pinterest graphic. So this is actually, let's just have a look here. So these two are the same actually. And then some documents here. So what we're going to focus on today is creating just a Pinterest graphic. Now, I know that Pinterest is doing a 2:3 ratio of for its graphics. But if you use this graphic, it actually works really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose that. And it's going to take a second to pop up here and load everything. So it's really quite simple. You really don't need any graphic experience. That's kind of the nice part about Pinterest, or pardon me, at Canva. So I'm going to move my little avatar here over. So what's really cool is if you have no idea where to start, there's these really great layouts here on the side, and you'll see these are free with the little crown here. There are some that you have to pay for, but there's a ton in here that you can work with that are free. So I'm going to show you how to design one right from scratch, just from this blank canvas. But if you really needed some inspiration, you could certainly pop this in and just make the changes and it would be fine. So everybody kind of has their own different way of doing things. I like to start by creating a frame. So I just go to elements and I create a frame here. These frames are sometimes hard to see. If you can see, like this one is a square split top and bottom. It's a square with three. What I'm looking for is a rectangle, just a plain rectangle. And these rectangles are tricky sometimes. This is a really long rectangle. This would be, say, maybe for a really long pin. This is just the plain rectangle. If you chose this one, you'd end up with a cutout down here. You could stick some color in, but that's not what I want. So I'm going to add this frame in. And all this is doing is when I want to stick a picture in here, it's going to load it to the exact size of the frame. So down here, you'll go to uploads and you can choose whichever, let's just choose this one for simplicity's sake. So I've uploaded this. If you have things to upload, whatever, you can just click on here and upload your freebies. And we're going to just stick that on here. So actually, I do need to create a pin for one of my posts coming up here. So I'm going to focus on that. So I've added this in here and you can see this is just the picture loaded on top. If you wanted to crop it so you didn't like where it was sitting, you could move it around, but this is exactly the size, so I don't have to worry about that. Up here, you've got some options. I'll show you arranged a bit. You can set the transparency here. So if you thought the background was a bit too dark, you could certainly set that there. Okay, so I just like to start with sort of a blank picture here. And then I like to go back into elements. So these are all, these ones are going to be free, I think. And then down here, these are for the paid version. So I do have the paid version of Canva because it just saves me some time. But I like to choose shapes. So there's a ton of shapes here you can pick. They're all free. I just want to add an overlay on top. Just like this. So I'm going to drag it down. Nice thing about Pinterest, you see these purple lines. It lines your, whatever you're putting, it centers it perfectly for you. So you know exactly. So I've loaded another thing with Pinterest. So you can change your color of your stuff up here with Canva, pardon me. I'm going to keep messing that up. You can actually go in and use some pre-formed colors for your branding. So you can add a few even in the free version. So I've got my few here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that color, and that changes it out. And then I'm going to actually set a transparency here. So I do want to see behind it. I don't want it so dark. Okay. And then we're going to add some text. So the pin that I'm actually trying to create is about posting your first pin. It's crazy. That's going to be actually part of this post. So if you're watching this, you've probably seen this already and probably already saw what I did to create this. So I'm going to add some text here. Now these text headings are preformed in the free version, or if you purchase the version of Canva, you can upgrade it. You can actually put in your own personalized texts that go with your brand. So just click on one of these three: heading, subheading, or body text. I like to add it and then kind of mess around with it a little bit. So let's type posting your first interest. You can keep it really simple. And up here you can see this is the font. So this is the font that came with my brand. So I've got it here in my brand fonts, but hundreds of fonts in here that you can choose. So that's easy. And then I'm going to choose some more text here. Simple steps to. It's nice. I think it's nice to change up. Oh, sorry. I think it's nice to change up some of the fonts and colors on your pins just to make it interesting. And in this case, I actually do want to use maybe a handwritten cursive font. I really like, I think it's called, I'll get there. Everybody complains about it and says it's newbie style, but I really like it. It looks nice all the time. Playlist script. And change this to playlist script. And we're going to make it really big. And I'm going to change the color. So here's the color wheel for your text. You can actually click plus, and if you have a color code, you can go ahead and change that really easily. I'm just going to use one of the ones that are already in my branding. So I'm going to just move this around a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So now this is the beauty. You can kind of mess around with this. So you see there's some spacing here. There's spacing between each letter, and then there's spacing between the lines. And if you don't like the spacing, you can come up here and muck around with it a little bit. I don't suggest you make it too weird, too big, too small. But find something that looks good. So that looks good. And I think this needs to be bigger. Okay. Simple steps to posting your first Pinterest pin. So something that kind of sticks out. And then I always recommend that you stick, it doesn't even have to be in a shape, but that you definitely stick on something that has your blog or website on it. It's because there are people that will steal your pins and use them as their own. So always remember to add that little bit in. Grammarly following me around there. Okay, so in this particular video, or in this particular thing, I am going to have a video tutorial. So I'm going to add, let's see if I can find it. Oh, actually, I can use this one. Okay. So Let's move this around. So you can add and layer as many pictures as you want, which is really cool. Whatever it takes to make the pin look exactly how you want. So I think the spacing here is weird. I think that's what's causing me some issues. Not the letter spacing, the line spacing. There we go. Simple steps 2. Posting the first Pinterest pin. Got this. And we're going to say plus free video. So let's add or plus a video tutorial. Let's move that here. And you can move these little boxes over. I'm going to say plus free video tutorial, free Canva video tutorial. Okay, so seriously, that's, oh, I might want to spell my own page right here. So seriously, that's about as easy as it is. And like quite literally, you know, if you decided that you didn't like this, you just go ahead, select it and delete it. You could change the transparency of the picture behind it so that maybe you just see that much, so that it stands out a little different. You could certainly play with it, make as many different changes as you want. It's so easy to move stuff around. There's tons of elements. There's shapes, lines, illustrations. There are some free stock photography. So let's see if we can find something. See if we found Words Computer. So there's some free stock stuff in here you could use if you were doing, say, a pin on babies. There's some, oh, that's cute. Look at that. Okay. Has nothing to do with my pin. So once you've got it and it's all ready to go, you actually just come up here and you can download your design. So it just takes a couple of seconds. It gets downloaded straight to your downloads folder, and then you can upload it straight into WordPress and as a pin. So you're going to actually see this one as part of this post. So hope that was that information was good, and hope you learned a lot from it. If you're looking to get that information in the future, I will have it loaded to the freebies library, so you can access that from my homepage. Thank you for coming and hanging out, and I hope you all have a fantastic